Steps of the project, third grade, we're going to do crazy cats. Now you have a bigger piece of clay, probably the size of your fist. If you need more, I'll have a container in the back. Remember what I said to do? Start pressing it around like this. I'm just squeezing it a little bit in the beginning, because if I had this huge ball like this, I'm going to show you an example, and I try to flatten it out, it's not going to work very well, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is press it around. I had it picked up in my hand, my folder's underneath me. Then I'm going to take my roller, go 1, 2, set it down, flip it over. What do we do? 1, 2, set it down, flip it over. Now you don't want it really thin. 1, oop, it stuck to it. So what do? Lay it back down and go the other direction. 1, 2, pick it back up. Now, is that a good size? Let's see. I set that down there. Yeah, it's pretty good size. Mine's not very flat though, so I want to flatten it just a little bit. And when you get to this last part, you can go ahead and flatten it. If you have a little bubble, make sure you get those bubbles out of there. Oh, see, I just pressed it. Got that bubble out of there. Next thing, artist, you will set this aside. You won't need that again. I would do it kind of where it's all even. Like, see here, it's really thin. I wouldn't want to set my cat over here because then my face wouldn't turn out very well. So I'm going to kind of set it in the center. And then you will have a skewer or other tools. Remember, these are not weapons. And you have to hold on to the stencil. I suggest you can go lightly first if you want to, and then you can go back over it. So I'll show you what I mean. If I need to, the nice thing about these, what I can do, artist, turn this around, lightly go through it. I have other tools that you can use. I set this aside. I'll use this again. Then I go back with my skewer, and I can make sure that I'm touching. I can feel it touching the folder underneath. I'm turning it, going all the way around my cat. You can actually split it in the middle if you want to, and you're going to take up these extra pieces, or you can leave it all together. This is a great example of positive and negative, artist. I'm going to take out the positive, and then watch what happens when I take out the positive. Voila, I'm left with the negative. So there's your cat. Now I've got a little bit of rough edge, so you're going to set this aside. You're going to use this for making your cat crazy, okay? Now at this time, you can smooth it out. You know, be careful with it. It's a good size. You can see how thick it is. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to have 100 of these. So you're going to run and write your initials. Don't poke very hard because it would go all the way through. You can put your teacher's code, you know, if you want to. So I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to create on my... Then you decide, okay, what do I want on my cat? Well, a cat needs an eye. And how many eyes does a cat have? That's right, it has 2. So there are 2 different ways you can do this. You can roll this into a ball on your hand. You can press it like this. Now, to make it go down, do you need this to roll it out? Probably not. Now, if I look at this eyeball, I want you to think about this. Is that a good size for an eyeball? That's pretty big. So I won't be able to have hardly any features for my eye. So maybe I roll it again in my hand. Get a nice little ball. You see the nice little ball that I made, or you can do it on the table. And I'm going to, that's a good size. Now I'm going to press it down just a little bit. The hardest part about the eyes, artist, is getting them the same size. Is that the same size? Do you have to have the same size? No, you don't have to, because it could be an abstract cat, one big eye, one little eye, whatever you want. I'm going to make this a little smaller, roll it into a ball, try to get it the right size, set it down on my folder, press it down. It's starting to crack. Well, the nice thing about when clay cracks, we get out our slip, and it's the glue of clay. You are going to need it. We'll put our finger on it. You're going to need it to fix your pieces. And look, I just put a little bit of water, smooth it around. You don't want it to stick on your folder, okay? And that one's a little bit bigger. Maybe I adjust it, make the size. I don't mind it like this though. Now you have to, in order to get it to stick, you have to score it. SSPS. We've already gone over the vocabulary. I like the 2 different sizes. So the next thing I do, artist, if I get a little bit of clay on there, no big deal, wipe it off. I'm going to scratch, which is your score. Scratch here, scratch where it's going on there, okay? Then you put a little bit of water See that little drop that I did? A little bit of water on both sides. And then what do? We press it, okay? Now, you're not going to be able to smooth this that good, but you do want to make sure you press it because you don't want your eyeballs to fall off. Same thing here. What do? Same step. SSPS. Scratching it here, okay? Drop of water on this side, drop of water on that side. Press it together. Now, at the end, if I need to smooth it out, again, I can. At the end, you're going to want to be able to get this off. So if you press really hard, you won't be able to get it off. But if you look, I can actually, couldn't see it in the video, I can actually pick it up. The eyes will stay. When it goes on your board, when I'm all done, they will all sit on your board. For one table, we'll get one board, and I'll put them on the big board. Okay, our next step. So we've got them on. Oh, I can smooth this out. That was another thing that I was going to show you. You do not have to always add clay. So if you want, you can just draw a nose. See how I'm drawing the nose? You can draw with your skewer some whiskers. Now, if you add your whiskers, what I want you to remember, you could take this little piece and you can make it into a tiny little coil. You have to have SSPS, okay? Meaning you have to score it, which is scratch it. You have to use slip. You have to scratch this side too. I forgot. Go back and scratch it. Then you have to press it. All right, I'm going to press it. And then the other S is smooth. If you can get in there and smooth it, you can. I like this. However, I want you to remember, if it's hanging off the edge of your face, by the time this dries and goes through the kiln, this might crack. It might break off. A way you could fix it would be maybe to curl it and press it on. You will have a better chance of saving your pieces if you leave it closer to the edge. Now, you can go back in and add. I've got texture tools. You can add little dots where it makes it looks like it's got little textures. You can add more clay. You could actually do this. Take your skewer and go very carefully, look at that, go all the way through. So have fun. This should be such a fun experience getting to do clay, but remember, do teeny tiny little detail. And another thing, you also want to make sure you always SSPS, names on the back, plan it out. Maybe we'll have some time to draw. You know, maybe you want to put little teeth on there. And then they'll go on your boards. There, you have to carry it, place it on your board on your table, and then Mrs. Milligan will take it from there.